So we've learned a little bit about forest succession. First stage of succession, there's a natural disturbance, some event that clears away the existing forest, creates an opening through which light pours in. The first plants to grow in that first stage are plants that are sun-loving. They need lots of sun. They thrive in the sun. The first trees to appear in a western Douglas fir forest are the namesake trees, the Douglas firs. You see many stately Douglas firs in this shot here. Douglas firs are what is called a shade-intolerant tree. They need lots of sun to engage in photosynthesis. In fact, if you were to explore in some of the deeper reaches of this forest that are more shady, it would be hard for a young Douglas fir to survive. They need lots of sun. And as you can see, when they have lots of sun and nutrients available, they thrive and grow very quickly and get fat very fast. Photosynthesis is the process by which chlorophyll-containing cells in plants take available light, convert that to chemical energy in order to produce carbohydrates, namely glucose. Well, how do they do that? Well, they also take in CO2 and water. The main reason is that they want to produce glucose and carbohydrates. One of the byproducts also happens to be oxygen, which is valuable to us, of course. But it's important to remember that plants aren't doing this out of any sense of altruism. They couldn't care a lick about us. We just happen to reap the benefits of that other product produced via photosynthesis, that oxygen. But for the plant, the primary product is glucose, that carbohydrate, because it serves as a building block for their metabolism and also serves as a building block for a number of other products that are produced. One of those products is cellulose, which is the main building block for trees. And we'll talk more about the significance of cellulose as we talk about primary growth in a tree. So again, this is a Douglas fir forest. And as a Douglas fir forest matures, as the trees get taller, we have a canopy that starts to close. And even in the middle of the day, there's not as much sunlight as there would have been before. And as the canopy closes even further, conditions become even more shaded. Some plants are capable of photosynthesizing in very low light conditions. And one of those trees is what you see right here. This is a grand fir. It's a tree that is capable of photosynthesizing in very low light conditions. We call these trees shade tolerant, as opposed to the Douglas fir, which are shade intolerant plants. So we have a mixture of different tree species and different species that are capable of adjusting to different light conditions. You won't find many Douglas fir or shade intolerant trees on the floor of a shaded Douglas fir forest, but you'll find plenty of grand fir and other shade-tolerant plants, shade-tolerant trees such as western hemlock and western red cedar. So those are two definitions I think you should remember: shade-tolerant plants and shade-intolerant plants. Shade-tolerant plants are plants that can live and carry out photosynthesis in low light conditions. Shade-intolerant plants, like the Douglas fir you see here, are plants that are unable to live in low light conditions. They need full sun. So photosynthesis involves a race for the sun. The very top of the tree, called the leader, is racing towards the sunlight, trying to outcompete the other trees that may be located right next to it. Every year of a tree's growth is manifested in growth in height, but also growth in girth. So over the course of a year, trees get taller, but they also get fatter. As trees grow in height, that type of growth is called primary growth. As trees get fatter and they put on a layer of wood every year, that is called secondary growth. And that secondary growth is what we're going to investigate in a separate module as we investigate how to use an increment borer and how to determine a tree's age by investigating a core sample of wood. But more on that at a later time.